Hello and welcome to Diamond Images YouTube channel. It's Queen and I am here with my second part series of this current book spoiler review. And of course, once again, the book that I'm talking about is Sister Souljah's Life After Death book. So, this actually takes place from my book review would now be from chapters 13 to the end, which is approximately chapter, 30. Let me just clarify. Might as well, because I got time on this YouTube. Oh, sorry. 34. Okay? So, when I last left off from chapter 12, it was a situation where Winter Santiago was in the car with her, who she wanted to call her man, who was actually Lucifer 66, which is actually one of Satan's son. And she was taking him to where they once used to be at together to try to save him because he was actually bombed and had fire coming out of his chest from the UBSs. And if you do not remember from my series part 1, UBSs stand for unborn sons, which was children that was aborted from their mothers who are now floating souls and trying to help their mothers guide them on the right path to the merciful one. All I can say is the chapter 13 takes place with Winter Santiago getting to the place. Once she gets to the place, she realized that she runs into another Satan's son, which is Lucifer's 66 brother, Ilbis. And he don't take her into welcome arms. He basically beats on her and he attempts to rape her. And just by the grace of God, or not necessarily the grace of God, from one of Winter Santiago's onboard kids provided her with a bomb. And that is what killed him for her to escape. But upon escaping, she runs into this beast form person who is a woman named Succubus. And basically, Succubus kind of just let her know straight up what was going on. That Lucifer 66 name is Incubus. And Incubus basically likes to butt fuck. And pretty much butt fucking is actually a sin. It is forbidden from the tyrant, who they call, but it's basically the merciful one, and they relate to as Allah. And you're not supposed to do it. So as a punishment for it, you actually turn into an animal. So now reflecting back from chapters 1 through 12, as I mentioned, that Winter Santiago messed around with the guy and she turned into a serpent one time, a red python, then she turned into a dog the next time. Well, that's the reason why. When she would have sex and she would let the guy butt fuck her, because that's what he liked to do, it turned her into these beasts. And apparently that's why there were so many of them, of women who had turned into beasts that was returned back into human form due to their unborn children coming to save them. And pretty much she kind of like Succubus lets Winter know, basically your friend, the guy who you was with, who you think is your man, you ready to give your soul to, is actually being dumped into the fire of eternal fire by his father, Satan. And he's gone. And it's best basically, you don't know all that you think you know, so to speak. And that's the reason why you was turning to these animals, was because of him. Long story short, she basically throw water on Succubus. By throwing water on Succubus, made Succubus dissolve because evil could not withstand water. And for the most part, she ended up getting away. When she got away, she was basically saved by some nuns who brought her into a convent. But this is still Winter Santiago. She's not into the 100 of trying to do righteous. For example, she had some weed that she took from her other dude, Incubus, with Lucifer 66 crib, and she's in the convent smoking it. But during this time, she bonds with a girl that she wanted to call Pretty, and a girl that was named Bridget. And from that bonding, they actually decided to go to, I would say, a party. And where they party was called One Night Only. And in this place, it's like people dancing and enjoying each other. It's like a huge, huge party going live. And during this particular scene, Basically, Winter Santiago is approached by Satan, who she don't know. I don't know why not. The man rolls up in a red Rolls Royce, a rose red Rolls Royce. Let me get the terminology correct in the book. And pretty much, she goes back with him. She spend time with him. She get with him. She thinking that she's basically gonna control Satan. She thinks she got this dude on lock. And I mean, don't get me wrong. He's treating her just like, you are the one. You are gonna be head honcho. Not realizing that she's setting herself up for failure. Long story short, within that period of time, one night only club is actually where the unhuman souls that haven't transferred, are still at the last stop before you drop. They basically, in the club, they get burned up and they get disintegrated in the club. And pretty much, although he was convincing Winter that he's there to support her and get a fashion line and everything started, that was not necessarily his intention. When Santiago clearly stated she didn't want to be butt fucked because she didn't want to turn back into no animal. But because of a moment, he invited her friend Pretty and went to Santiago in bed with him. It happened. And she transformed. And let me just say, she transformed into a rat. Her friend transformed into a snake. And then her friend ended up eating her. And throughout until then, to the remaining of the end of the book, it gets even more interesting. Things that Winter experienced, people that Winter talked to, some of the things that they experienced and they also went through as well, is definitely discussed in this book in great detail. Ultimately, it was a matter of Winter acknowledging God as the merciful one. Not necessarily stating that he's a prophet, as they mentioned, such as a prophet like, Moses and Adam and Jesus, but God is the merciful one. It's only but one God. And it's a journey. Now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not at all. Because I want you to go purchase a Sister Souljah book, Life After Death. So I'm not even going to tell you what happened to Winter. I'm not going to tell you what happened to her soul. I'm not going to tell you what happened after that. I'm not even going to tell you the end. What I am going to tell you is go to my blog, which is d2qblog.wordpress.com, and scroll on down where it's a little section that says Amazon Influencer page. Click on it and you'll see this book. Click on that link, which will take you to purchasing the book and read it for yourself. Because I'm not going to lie, this is a must-read book, especially if you really enjoy the life of Winter Santiago and reading The Coldest Winter Ever. But no, I'm sorry, my peoples. I know that you tune into this second part series to get the actual ending of what happened to Santiago after she was murdered and now her spirit is traveling around. I gave you a rundown. I really kind of gave you a summed up version, so you really need to read this 300-some page book to get the details. I kid you not, Sister Souljah. While I was reading this book, there was moments I was crying. There was moments where I was getting upset at Winter. There was moments where I related. And I sympathized for her. And the detailed structure that Sister Souljah used and her creativity of writing books is marvelous. So yes, I strongly encourage each and every single one of you checking this second part series out to definitely get this book so that you too can also read Sister Souljah's Life After Death and see what did actually happen to Winter Santiago and her spirit after she was shot by Simone. Great book, wonderful reading, very well detailed. I mean, sometimes the details just make you be like, oh, by hearing of some of the words and how well they went together, and even the fashion. But it's definitely a must-read book. Add to your collection, pass it around, do some book studies, maybe chapter by chapter, book group readings. It is worth it. So I strongly encourage you, once again, go to d2qblog.wordpress.com. Go to the tab that says Amazon Influencer page. Click on it and you will see this item that is available for the link to purchase it off of Amazon. And definitely support Sister Souljah on her sequel of The Coldest Winter Ever that is titled now Life After Death. Thank you all for tuning in here on the Diamond Images channel with your girl Queen. Feel free to follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Diamond2Queen. And definitely always feel free to come back and check out some more new uploads that I will be having in the near future. I really appreciate you. And hey, I probably have some more book spoiler reviews to come out in the near future too. So stay tuned.